Some dreams don't end when you wake up. They follow you long after your eyes are open. Ever woken up in a cold sweat, heart pounding with the terrifying images of a nightmare still fresh in your mind? You're definitely not alone. Nightmares are a common human experience, but have you ever wondered why they happen? Why does our brain sometimes decide to play a horror movie for us while we're just trying to get some rest? Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of nightmares to uncover the science and psychology behind them. What are they? What causes them? And most importantly, can we do anything to make them stop? First, let's get on the same page about what a nightmare actually is. It's not just a bad dream. A nightmare is a vivid, disturbing dream that usually wakes you up. They often involve feelings of fear, anxiety, or sadness. The content can be anything from being chased, falling from a great height, or finding yourself in a completely bizarre and threatening situation. These dreams typically occur during the REM, or rapid eye movement stage of sleep. This is the deepest stage of sleep, where most of our dreaming happens. Our brains are highly active, almost as if we're awake, but our bodies are temporarily paralyzed. This paralysis, called atonia, is a good thing. It stops us from physically acting out our dreams. Thank goodness for that, right? Imagine thrashing around every time you dreamt you were running from a monster. So, what's actually triggering these terrifying mental movies? One of the biggest culprits is stress and anxiety. Our brains are incredible processors. When we're awake, we're constantly taking in information and dealing with daily pressures, work deadlines, relationship issues, financial worries, you name it. When we go to sleep, our brain doesn't just shut off. It gets to work sorting through all the emotions and experiences of the day. If you've had a particularly stressful day or are going through a tough time, those feelings don't just disappear when you close your eyes. Instead, they can bubble up and manifest as nightmares. Think of it like your brain's way of trying to work through unresolved fears and anxieties. The dream becomes a symbolic stage where these emotions play out in a dramatic and often scary way. For example, a dream about being unprepared for an exam might reflect real-life feelings of inadequacy or fear of failure at your job. Another major cause is trauma. People who have experienced a traumatic event, like an accident, a natural disaster, or a personal assault, often suffer from recurrent nightmares. This is a hallmark symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. In these cases, the nightmares are often a direct replay of the traumatic event or contain themes and emotions related to it. It's the brain's attempt to process an overwhelming experience that it couldn't fully make sense of at the time. The dreams are incredibly distressing and can feel as real as the event itself, causing the person to relive the trauma over and over. If you believe your nightmares are linked to a past trauma, it is so important to seek help from a mental health professional. Therapies like imagery rehearsal therapy, or IRT, can be incredibly effective in helping people change their nightmare scripts and regain control over their sleep. Now let's talk about lifestyle factors, because what we do during the day can have a huge impact on our nights. Have you ever had a weird dream after a late-night spicy meal? You're not imagining it. Eating heavy meals, especially spicy or fatty ones, right before bed can increase your metabolism and body temperature. This leads to more brain activity during REM sleep, which can set the stage for more vivid dreams, including nightmares. The same goes for certain substances. Alcohol, for instance, might help you fall asleep initially, but as it metabolizes, it disrupts your sleep architecture later in the night. It particularly suppresses REM sleep early on and then causes a REM rebound in the second half of the night. This rebound effect can lead to intense, often unsettling dreams. Certain medications can also have nightmares listed as a side effect. Antidepressants, blood pressure medications, and some drugs used to treat Parkinson's disease are known to influence dreams. If you've started a new medication and noticed an increase in nightmares, it's worth having a chat with your doctor. Illness and fever can also be a one-way ticket to Nightmare Town. When you're sick, your body is under physical stress. A high fever can disrupt normal brain function, and this delirious state can easily seep into your dream world, creating bizarre and frightening scenarios. Your body is fighting off an infection, and your brain's dream state can reflect that internal chaos and discomfort. It's also interesting to note that creativity and nightmares can sometimes go hand in hand. Some studies suggest that people who are more creative, open, and sensitive may experience more frequent and intense dreams, including nightmares. Their brains might simply be more adept at creating complex, imaginative, and emotionally charged narratives, which can be wonderful when it's a pleasant dream, but not so much when it's a scary one. Famous artists and writers throughout history have often drawn inspiration from their nightmares. Mary Shelley, for example, famously said the idea for Frankenstein came to her in a waking dream, a vision that was quite nightmarish. So if you have a lot of nightmares, maybe you just have a very powerful imagination. So we know what causes them, but the big question is, how do we stop them? The good news is you're not powerless. The first and most important step is to practice good sleep hygiene. This is the foundation for healthy sleep. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps regulate your body's internal clock. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. This signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. Maybe that's taking a warm bath, reading a book, a real one, not on a screen, listening to calming music, or doing some gentle stretching. Avoid screens like your phone, tablet, or TV for at least an hour before bed. The blue light they emit can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Managing stress is also key. Since stress is a primary driver of nightmares, finding healthy ways to cope with it can make a huge difference. Regular exercise is fantastic for this. It helps burn off nervous energy and promotes deeper sleep. Just try not to exercise too vigorously right before bed. Mindfulness and meditation are also powerful tools. Even just a few minutes of deep breathing exercises before you sleep can help calm your nervous system and clear your mind of the day's worries. You might also find journaling helpful. Writing down your thoughts and anxieties before bed can be a way of externalizing them so they don't follow you into your dreams. And what about when you wake up from a nightmare? The instinct is to try and forget it, but sometimes engaging with it can be more helpful. Try to write the nightmare down in as much detail as you can remember. Then try rewriting the ending. Give it a positive, empowering, or even a completely silly conclusion. This technique, which is a simplified version of the professional therapy I mentioned earlier, can help you feel a sense of control over the dream. It tells your brain that you are the director of this movie and you can change the script. Finally, remember that occasional nightmares are a normal part of life. They are just dreams. They can't physically harm you. But if your nightmares are frequent, making you significantly distressed, making you afraid to sleep, or affecting your daily life, it's really important to talk to someone. A doctor or a therapist can help you identify the underlying cause and find the right treatment strategy for you. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. Taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. In the end, our dreams, even the scary ones, offer a fascinating glimpse into the inner workings of our minds. They reflect our fears, our hopes, our stresses, and our creativity. By understanding why nightmares happen, we can take proactive steps to ensure our nights are more peaceful and our days are more energized. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of nightmares. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content about the mysteries of the human mind.